Brussels has rejected Britain's bid for a long-term agreement in an increasingly bitter row over future access to the European Union's financial markets. The bloc wants the ability to cut off British bankers and investors from its financial services industry at short notice. Britain quit the EU on January 31, but remains in lockstep with Brussels until the post-Brexit transition period expires at the end of the year. For after the standstill arrangement, British negotiators are seeking special treatment for the country's financial services industry, EU sources have claimed. They want to ensure banks, insurers and asset managers have predictable access to EU markets, which is Britain's biggest financial services export destination, worth some £26 billion each year. Brussels grants access based on so-called equivalence to any third country if it deems its rules are equivalent or as robust as the EU's. The same level of limited access is used by the United States, Japan and Singapore, but this can be unilaterally withdrawn by the bloc with as little as 30 days' notice. An EU diplomat said, the UK is seeking co-management of financial equivalence decisions. They want an inbuilt consultation process that unilaterally revoking of any licenses would not be as easy as it is for third countries currently. An EU official described Britain's demand as binding joint procedures for withdrawing equivalence. But the European Commission is said to have rejected the concept. EU sources said the bloc is concerned that Britain could begin to diverge away from its rules in the short to medium term after leaving the transition period on equal footing. Brussels could agree to a more long-term deal if Britain agrees to keep in line with the bloc's standards beyond the end of the year. They're equivalent now because they're still under the system, an EU source told Express.co.uk. We're not interested in whether they're equivalent in the summer of 2020, we're interested in what happens in 2021, 2022, 2023.